ahead and get into it. Thank y'all for tuning in and welcome back to the Fourth Quarter Podcast, the #1 sports podcast there is in the whole entire world. And today I got some special guests with me, man, for today's fourth quarter interviews. I'm gonna go ahead and let the gentlemen introduce themselves.
Well, I'll start off. I'm Coach Mike, owner of the Roc City Grim Reapers. You know what I'm saying? I bleed purple and green, but that new colorway, that red and blue.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
Got it with us.
My name is Andre Caldwell. I go to Rochester Prep. I'm a receiver.
Marcus Williams, QB, class 2027, East High School.
Okay. Round of applause for these guys, man. Like I said, thank y'all for joining the show and being our guests on the Fourth Quarter Podcast, man. Definitely much appreciated.
Appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into the interview, man. We're going ahead and start with Coach Mike, man. Coach Mike, you are the I want to say the owner of the Roc City Grim Reapers also?
Yeah, I'm the owner.
And head coach? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
18
go ahead and give
you head coach.
Okay. Give us a little background of you coaching.
So, I mean, honestly, I could say back when I was like 15. So, like when I was 15, I was helping out my Uncle Phil, you know, same as always, my Uncle Phil, the owner of Flower City Panthers. And when he started off there, I don't know, something about just coaching and seeing how he did things and how like us as his kids, even me as his nephew was like, you know, I wanted to join him. So when I was 15, I said, man, I could do this. And I know I could coach at a high level. So especially because I like to study the game. So like as time went on, I started growing, I started getting older.
Wait.
I took off.
You said 15? You started at 15?
15.
Okay.
Absolutely. Got a pitch. Hey, we keeps to prove, man. 15 years old, man. And you know, one thing I always kept from my Uncle Phil, you know, shout out to him, was that anything possible as long as you learn, as long as you put your time in, and as long as everybody really stay dedicated. So I did that. And we end up my first coaching job was with I want to say it was the what was it? It was like the Cyclones or some type of semi-pro team.
Okay.
And I'm like, nah, I want to help out in high school. So right after that, we end up going. Actually, it was the Spartans. That's what it was, the Spartans.
Okay.
And from there, I said, you know, I always looked up to Maurice Rice. You know, he was definitely like a uncle figure in my life. So from there, I said, you know what? I got to get into the high school. I was about 17 years old, getting ready to graduate, and I was like, man, I got to do something. And I kept looking at, like, you know, these gentlemen here and people before them. I kept saying, like, I got to help the youth. I got to help the community. You know, I grew up with a 2-parent household. So right after that, I jumped right into coaching high school. I ended up owning my own 7-on-7 football team, Flower City Dream Killers.
Okay.
After the Flower City Dream Killers, like a lot of the guys that you see now that's in college, like Jamari Johnson, Jordan Walker, Gabe Zawallo, those type of guys, even Todd Gillum, those were my athletes.
Nice.
And we took off from there. And then I went to Wilson, ended up coaching Wilson with under Maurice Rice. From there, became the head coach, and then it just kept going. And like after I got done with the Flower City Dream Killers, the year after COVID started, the second year is when I came out with the Reapers.
Okay.
And from there, I've been bleeding purple. So.
Okay, now listen, man. I be, from the outside looking in, I definitely be seeing you putting in work, man. That's why I say, you know, we got to go ahead and get this interview done, because I definitely appreciate the work that you putting in with the youth, man, because that shit is definitely needed, and it's definitely much appreciated. Now, what would you say is your ultimate goal for the Reapers, right? Because you are dealing with young kids, and you have the opportunity to have them travel and go compete outside of their outside of their pond, and get to compete against some other athletes from all around the country. But what is your ultimate goal for these young men?
The biggest goal is to get them somewhere.
Okay.
And when I say somewhere, I mean trade school, college, something. I don't want to see them on the block. I don't want to see my kids, you know, on the news and the newspaper, dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? I did lose a former kid before. But I can definitely say the goal is, you know, yeah, we appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. But the goal is, and, you know, I do got to give props to somebody before I keep going. I got to shout out my brother, Coach Reem. Coach Ream seen the dream. He was just like me. You know, Ream had the dream just like me. And then, like, you know, I also got to shout out Coach Wolf. I was, like I said, I was 17, 18 years old, taking guys that was 15, 16, and the parents, like, they trusted us, right? And we made it happen. We went to Baltimore. We handled work. We finished 9-1 that year. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like that right there, being able to put kids into trade school. I got a kid right now, Tyler Brown. He's actually in welding
Okay.
school. I also got Theodric Moorhead. He's also, I just posted that as well. Theodric, he also is I always get it wrong. He's a mechanic, robotic technician.
Okay.
So, you know, making the big money. And, you know, trade school, I always preach, college is not for everybody, but there's always something for somebody.
Indeed.
And, you know, even myself, I got into the security game, I got into the coaching game. I'm set for life, you know, but I also want more for myself. So I always teach them, you know, you got one more for yourself. So whether it's trade, college, bus driver, chef, whatever,
Indeed.
let's get this money.
Now I love that because you dealing with football players, but you also making sure you open their minds to different things and
Yeah,
different areas in
absolutely.
life. Go ahead and
Because
earn some money.
football is not like football is not going to pay your bills. Like it's not guaranteed. You know, football is not guaranteed. So like,
So you
there's
being
other
real with
ways
them.
around it. Yeah, got to be real.
Now you just said that you guys went to Baltimore. Just go ahead and talk about the different places that you guys travel and the hurdles that you have to go through dealing with, you know, securing kids' rooms, securing kids' meals, and still don't have to go out there and perform that. That's a hassle that people don't understand. And it can be a lot, especially dealing with teenagers. So go ahead and just talk about the travel aspect of the 707 team.
So what I'll say is, you know, like, and I'll try to keep it as, you know, most professional as I can, but the biggest thing is parent support. You know, we don't get that much parent support. You know, like we are the parents, regardless if we are a couple years older than them, 10 years older than them, whatever we may be. The support is everything, right? So like you talking about 25, 24 year olds taking 16, 17 year olds, maybe 15, right? And we're taking them out of town, booking rooms with receipts, you know, out of our pocket. You know, some of our kids, we understand, we all come from the same place, right? We all come from the same area. So I understand a single mother has to worry about 3 kids. You got to
Hmm.
try to take some slack off her back, you know?
Hmm.
So, you know, just the most thing is I will say the funding, you know, trying to get the funding and trying to get the support. You know, we do have a big support fan base. Actually, this year, and I'll tell you no lie, we went from 232 followers to now I'm at 1,300 followers on Instagram.
Hmm.
Uh, our page has literally been getting about 51,000 views and like interactions a month.
Yeah.
And you know, we're going uphill, you know, bonding with different teams. You know, we also I got a brother in New York City who does the same thing that I do. He's about the same age as me. And honestly, I could say like the mission is to grow, you know, how these kids grow. And I could definitely say it could get stressful though. You know, it definitely gets stressful when you got to pay for 10 rooms,
Yeah.
you know, a couple minivans, maybe a sprinter and 2 minivans, you know. So I could definitely say it's challenging, but you know, we always make it work. So that's all that matters.
Okay. Okay. Now, um, I just want to go ahead and give you your flowers right now, man. For one, because you are dealing with the youth, and a lot of people don't take the time to go ahead and do things like that. Like you said, coming out your pocket, paying for rooms, vans, uniforms. So I definitely want to go ahead and give you your flowers right now, man. While you're around, man. 'Cause people like give people their flowers when they're not around. So
I
definitely appreciate you
appreciate it.
for sure.
Definitely. And I
Now,
can't, like I said, I can't take all the credit, man. I got a great staff around me. Coach Jason, you know, he coached at Southwest. Coach Ed, he also at Southwest, you know, played semi-pro. You know, like I said, Coach Ream, Coach
yo,
Wolf, Coach Daniels, and the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? The list, Coach Massey, he's young. Also, I played against him, and it's like the list just goes on. You know,
okay,
like the help
well,
and just being able to have the support amongst each other first before we try to look out and get, you know, get exposure or get
okay,
help, you know. And I got to shout that lady out right there, Mama Kathy in the live.
shout Mama Kathy out. Now, since you did go ahead and speak about all these wonderful coaches that you do have, why should a parent who has a child looking for a 7-on-7 team, why should that parent bring their child to the Roc City Grim Reapers?
I think the biggest thing I could say for that one would be just the reality of life. You know what I'm saying? Just exploring. Some of these kids have never seen
Mm,
Buffalo, right? Some of these kids, and I'm gonna be as real as I can. Some of these kids have never seen the highway, right?
mm,
Never been to Batavia, never been. We're taking kids 2, 3, maybe 500 miles away to not only explore life, but to get a chance at reality. You know,
mm,
that is more than just where we come from. That is bigger than throwing a football. That is just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than that, you know. So for me personally, a parent should bring their kids us because we keep it real. We're not gonna lie to them. We're not gonna tell them they're D1. We're not gonna tell them they're D2. We're not gonna even tell them that they're gonna get NIL, none of that. You have to work for everything you build, and that starts from the coaches. You know, I like to say a coach can't coach something, right? A coach can't coach something if he has never been through something to teach something, right? And that method, like we teach our kids, is I can't talk to you about life if I haven't been through life yet,
mm,
right? I can't teach you how to get money if I don't know how to get money.
mm.
So I can't teach you how to win if I don't know how to win. So going through the steps of life, you know, and like Andre, you know, he's one of my oldest kids, and we just had that conversation. You got 2 offers, kid, right? You got 2 offers with many more coming. Life is going to continue to get harder, and when you get to college, it's going to get extremely hard.
Extremely.
But you got to stick to your guns. You got to stick to your guns. You got to be a good kid. You got to listen and follow directions. You know, so that's what I said. Parents should really bring their kids to us because we show reality. We're not going to hide. We're not going to fake the flaunt. We're going to keep it 100, and we're going to show you why and what it takes to get through life and what it also takes to get through sports and do what you need to do.
Okay. Definitely much great information that I know a lot of parents who definitely needing to hear. Now, with that being said, what would you say is your coaching style, right? Because we got all kinds of coaches now in 2025, man. We got some flamboyant coaches, we got the stylish coaches, we got some laid back coaches, we got the rah-rah coaches. What would you say is your coaching style? And before you get to answering, please do understand that I have 2 players on the panel right now that I'm going to ask, is that how he coached? So I just want you to be mindful. I just want you to be mindful of the answer that you give me because I definitely have some witnesses.
Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this. Y'all 2 better answer right, or y'all both got 50. Y'all know
Hey,
my
listen, I
yeah.
understand. What would you say is your coaching style?
me, honestly, I'm me. Like the reason why I say my coaching style is me because I keep it. I know when to get serious sometimes, you know, and most of the time, right? And I'm still, like I said, I'm still growing as a person, but reality of being able to relate, you know, and that's one of the biggest things that always was told to me coming up as a coach. You could relate to them. Like you're not that much older than them, but you're older than them, and you been through a lot as a young kid, you know, as well as just, you know, the techniques, different techniques, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say you can't teach heart, but you can in a way. You know, you can in a way, and I'm a true believer in that because a kid that never knew that he could do it, you push him and push that button that makes him actually know he can do
Okay.
it. He gonna be able to do it. You know, so I'll definitely say my coaching style. I got a little bit from each coach that I've ever looked up to or been around, like Coach Mo Jackson, Coach Maurice Rice, Coach Hugo Meyer, you know, Coach Flagger, you know, a couple coaches like that, Coach Bruce,
Shout
you
out to
know,
those.
from East. So like a lot of those coaches, you know, I seen some of the way they coach. I seen how they talk to kids. I see how they talk to me when I was a player. Excuse me, and I definitely say my coaching style is it's unique. It's unique. And plus, I'm a comedian, so sometimes like my kids, as you can see, like I be trying to hold back, but then, yo, bro, they be trying me, man. They be trying me, man.
No,
They be trying me.
that's
But I
great.
love them though. You know, I love them, and they know that. So
Um, what would you say is the biggest misconception of 7-on-7 football, right? Because when it comes to 7-on-7 football, a lot of people have their opinions on if it's good for regular season, if it's not good for regular season, if it's a waste of time, you know. So, what would you say is the biggest misconception of 7-on-7 football?
I could say probably. I probably say it's the technique. It's the It's the schemes. Like the biggest, you know, like some people don't really realize that it really like you have to have schemes, right? Because there's no blocking, there's no rushing besides when they, you know, you get one blitz most of the tournaments, you get one blitz, but like the blocking, you know, the play calling and the defense. Like you can run basic cover 2, cover 3 man, but like you got somebody with a scheme that, you know, make you actually play. Like that's the part that people don't realize. Yeah, there may not be no blocking, yeah, there may not be no, you know, rushing defense, not like that, tackling going on, but just the you gotta move your feet, you gotta actually show your skills.
Oh,
Like that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. You got to show your skills, you know, and sometimes it exposes players. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not even saying good exposure. Like, you know, you got quarterbacks that don't know how to read the field, but it'll show. You got some quarterbacks that can show that they got an arm but don't know where to place it at, right? Because you don't got a blocking, like I said, you don't got no blocking in none. So you got 4 seconds to throw that ball, 3 seconds to throw the ball, and at that point you panicking versus being able to roll out, run, and get some yards. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's probably one of the main things I could say that a lot of people don't really realize is that you got to have a mindset, a player mindset, and you got to be able to see the ins and outs.
okay. Now, for this season, what's our record so far?
Uh, I want to say we are 7-4, 7-4.
Or
We lost. Yeah, the first tournament. I could say the first tournament we finished top 4, I believe. Yeah, top
and
4.
where was that at?
Um, Virginia. That was in Virginia.
Okay, Virginia.
The PA Elite Tournament. We made it to second round of the playoffs. Um, and you know we beat ourselves, you know, but you know, we learn from things, we grow as a team. And like, you know, my motto is if we win as a team, we win as a team. If we lose as a team, we lose as a team. At the end of the day, there's all sorts of points that you can take from that game and get better, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, and then our second tournament, I think we started off rocky and then we got ourselves together. And you know, I always ask my kids, you know, you never want a donut on the board, so get me one, and we actually got more than one. So I'm proud of that, you know. And like I said, just teaching them how to fight, man. You got to teach them how to fight to the finish, man.
Okay. Now, my last question for you before we go ahead and talk to these young gentlemen is, with you being such a young coach, has that ever played a part with you going into these tournaments and playing against older coaches and coaches who've been around for a long time, and they looking at you like that's a kid over there coaching them, like we ain't taking him serious? Has that ever occurred, or do everybody just give you respect when it comes to that, or is that more something you have to go out there and earn and fight being a young coach?
I'll say both. And the reason why I'll say both, and I'm gonna try to keep this one short, but the reason why I'll say both is because I've beaten some of the best coaches like that I've actually saw for years, right? Like I said, I was just in their shoes, not too long ago, right? And I can honestly say, like, you know, I've earned my respect in a lot of ways, right, and being able to beat good coaches, and you know, till the whistle was blown, and I've also got myself handed to me, you know, but my motto was I always need to score, I always got to score at least once, I got to walk away with my head high, no matter win, lose or draw, because that shows character and that shows, you know, heart. And I can say I could definitely say, you know, I've earned my respect. And a lot of guys, you know, the true men that sees the mission I'm on and that sees the potential, they give me my respect. The ones that, you know, feel that they're not believers, right? They're not believers. And I mean, you know you ain't doing a good job if you ain't got no believers, right? You know, them guys that don't believe you and that don't believe that you can do it, you know, if you don't got none of those, then you ain't doing a good job anyway.
We call them
So
haters where I'm from.
yeah, haters. I mean, but
Yeah, no,
hey, it's all right, you know. But hey, at one day they're gonna have to believe one way or another.
hey man, say man, I tell you like this, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You definitely putting these guys on the map. You definitely putting yourself on the map, and you definitely gaining respect, man. And in all the right ways. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I'm giving you flowers right now, man.
Yeah, I
Proud of what
appreciate
you've
it.
done with these young men. Especially my young brother, man. People don't know. A lot of people don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure they do. But for those who didn't know, Sean Quest is my little brother, man. So just having him on this panel right now is dope as hell, and I'm super proud of him. But let's go ahead
I'm
and talk
proud
to
of
the
him.
fellas, man. What's going on,
Proud of
young
him
boys?
too, man.
What's up?
How y'all
What's
doing,
up?
man?
Valid.
Welcome to the
I'm
show,
good.
man. Definitely, y'all my first young gentleman on the show, man. I want to let y'all know that y'all are not YNs, right? And we're
Yeah.
gonna change that narrative right now. No, seriously, we're gonna change that narrative right now. That's why I'm happy that I got two stand-up gentlemen, young men on the panel to erase that, because I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the average person see y'all, right, that don't know y'all, they gonna give y'all that label, right? Strictly YN off the rip, just for y'all being young black men. And nah, we young gentlemen over here, we young men over here, right? So that's how I'm gonna treat y'all, because that's exactly what y'all are. Now, before we get into any football questions, man, we're gonna talk about what's important, which is them grades. So I want both of y'all to go ahead and elaborate how y'all grades looking right now.
You see the honor roll.
Point
Okay.
Hey, point again, kid. Point again, kid.
You see the honor rolls.
All right.
For
All right.
me, school is a part of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because without school, there's no sports. You can't even play sports without school, feel me? But you can always do school if you ain't even got sports. So for
Exactly.
me, it's like the school is required, and that's what runs in the family. So for me to
We
order to
know
do
it.
what I have to do in the field, I got to do it in the classroom first. And it's like, yeah, you know how that be.
Okay. How about you, Dre?
Yeah. My GPA right now is a 3.2.
Talk to him. Come on now. Come on now.
Say that again, though.
We got honor roll kids and 3 point. Come on now.
Say that again, because they do not think that them grades be good. Say that again.
My GPA is 3.2. Like, my dad always tell me I gotta stay on top of my grades, because if I don't stay on top of my grades, just like Quez said, it's nothing. It's like there's no point of me playing football. And football is my motivation, so that's why I also stay on top of my grades.
I love that, man. I love that. That's awesome to hear. Because like I said, I'm letting y'all know right now, the narrative will be different for those who don't know y'all, who don't know what y'all got going on. They're just gonna see y'all and want to automatically label y'all as YNs, and that's not the case. YNs don't have honor rolls with those hanging up on their wall. They don't have those 3.2 GPAs. That's not happening, right? So we definitely gonna change that narrative, and I'm glad to have a platform for y'all to come change that narrative. So definitely keep school first, man. School is the most important thing. I know sometimes it can be a hassle, but it's the most important thing, man, because you can be as athletic as you want, but if it's not good up here, you can't go ahead and accomplish what you need to accomplish in life. There's a lot of athletic bums on the street, you know. And it's sorry to say it that way, but we got to be real on this show, man. It's a lot of athletic bums on the street who can go out there and play with the best of them, but they didn't take care of what they need to take care of in the classroom. So they didn't go where they need to go. And y'all got a bright future. So make sure y'all keep them grades first. Now, with that being said, what got you guys into football? Let's start with you, Dre.
My dad got me in football. Like, when I was younger, I always wanted to play football, but it was like my mom, she was like so scared of me playing football. But I was just like so fragile. I wasn't. When I hit 14, that's when I first hit like 100 pounds. Like, I was always a skinny kid. So my mom never let me play football. Like, but in 10th grade, that's when I started playing football, and that's when I actually like fell in love with it.
So you're a late bloomer. Okay. How about you, Quez?
For me, growing up in a football household, you know, having people like you, my other brothers, and on the other side, everybody just playing football. So it was like, for me, it had to be done. And just watching y'all.
You didn't have no. Hey, he didn't have no choice, y'all. I want to let y'all know that right now. He didn't have no choice. Okay.
Watching it on TV and stuff like that, just something I wanted to try and falling in love.
Okay. Now, is there any other sports you guys play?
Yeah.
I play anything.
All sports.
Yeah. I just got done playing basketball today.
Okay.
That was
it. How about you, Quez? What other sports are you interested in?
I play football, basketball, baseball, and I run track.
Now, it's safe to say that football is you guys' number one sport?
Yeah.
What separates football from all other sports? What makes football the number one sport that you guys want to focus on the most?
For me, it's really the love for the game. You know, it's like being football, everything revolves around football for me when it comes down to sports. As in, I do the other sports to get better in football. Like, basketball. Basketball help you with hand coordination or stamina. Then baseball, I could do pitcher and all that. That just help with my arm and all that. Then track help with running. All of the things that I do always gonna build up to that one sport. So it's just like being an athlete, and then it's the love for the game.
Okay.
Word.
How about you, Dre?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like with class at basketball. I'm a receiver, so I like to jump. So basketball, I'm trying to stay on the top of the boards, finishing around the rim. And track, I high jump and long jump in track. Like I hold both of my school records in that in high school. So it's like it helps me.
Oh, so that's what you're basically saying. You guys saying that you guys play other sports just to help y'all play football and stay in shape. Okay. Now that's how it's supposed to be. A lot of people want to, when they have athletes who are very good at one sport, they try to get in your ear and say, just play that sport. No, play all sports. You always want to go and try to explore everything. Because like you said, for one, it's going to help you get better for that one sport. And then you never know, you might get scholarships at this one sport that you tried out and was great at. So never sell yourself short, man. So I'm definitely glad you guys are multi-athletes for them. And then picking back off the school, I just wanted to get this question out the way. What's one thing that you guys enjoy about school? Because I know school could be dreadful for you guys in your age, but what's one thing that you guys love about school?
For me, one thing that I do love about school is a way to interact with the outside. You know, that's one thing about it. You know, just getting out the house. You know, having friends and people like that, having people to talk to or anything like that. And then for me, loving school sometimes. You know, it's certain subjects that I actually want to learn and actually want to learn something new. You know, definitely when learning something new, it's like, hey, I'm interested in this. I can keep going and learn more about it. So yeah.
Okay.
And then for me, school is like it's like a love-hate relationship. Like sometimes I like it, some days I don't. But I usually like school when it's like when it's on my good days. When I got good days, I have a lot of good days, so I always like school. But it's like another thing is I like math class, so I like math. So like I'm like, okay, boom, when it's time to go to math class, I'm ready for math. Feel me?
That's unusual. I'm not gonna lie. That's usually a lot of people toughest subject. Speaking mine, for sure. I hated math, but that's dope.
If you go to California, you gotta have math.
I'm a social study guy.
I stays away from math now.
I'm a social study guy.
Math my favorite subject.
Math my favorite subject.
That's dope. Now, how did you guys end up playing for the Grim Reapers?
All right, now look.
I got.
You start with
you want to go? All right, man.
You got it.
I got referred by an alumni at. I was supposed to play last year, but then stuff had happened with my it was my job, and stuff has happened with my job. So I was like, okay, I'm just wait it out. So this year I have played, and I'm actually glad I joined the Reapers. This is like a really like you could. This is family, man.
Okay.
It's easy. It's easy to be entered in, bro.
And you guys are all from different schools, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be dope. How about you, Quest?
All right, before I even go, I want to say shout out Mike. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
For me, it's like, you know, having other 707 programs, even having my school connected with a 707 program, it's like you automatically think that's where I'm gonna go for me. And it's like having an open mind and trying to make a decision. And that call, Mike called me, and it's just talking to Mike and the things he was saying, it was real for me. And it wasn't just about 707, it was about life. So it was like, I'm willing to take that chance with this program just because of the conversation I had with Mike, knowing that he actually believed in these kids and actually showed that he believed in me. So it was like, this is where I want to take my chance at for me. So yeah.
Hey man, that's super dope, man. I mean, it's on a personal level, not just football, which is always going.
All the kids, honestly, man, all the kids, like, you know, like I honestly can say, like, it don't matter how good you are, how bad you are, whatever, right? At the end of the day, everybody has an opportunity with me, you know, and I'm not about to sit here and make it seem like, you know, we 5-star, right? But we are growing and we are learning. Everybody's learning, you know, myself, you know, at nights, you know, sometimes when I have nothing to do, I'm literally YouTube looking at stuff. You know, I'm also going back to old files from colleges, you know, shout out Coach Mac at UB. He usually send me a bunch of, different stuff to look over, learn from, how to do things better, how to coach different stuff better, and, try to apply it. And it's like, one of those things that I'll say is like, all of the kids that ever tried to, come to the Reapers, it's the same thing. You hear the same thing, and like I said, none of this is rehearsed, none of this is fake, none of this is reality, and people can say what they want, but I truly believe in opportunity, whether, like I said, whether it's trade school, whether it's college, whether it's chef, designing clothes, whatever, I try to do things. We got a kid he loved rapping, and he say, like, if it wasn't for rapping, he think he'd have been gone. And I always tell him, well, what can I do to help you? And between paying for studio time and getting them in touch with different people to really, also get them into where they need to be. All the kids, they know anything that I can do to help them, I try to help them.
That's love.
And that's reality, man.
Give your flowers, man.
It's
That's love.
reality.
Now, fellas, I'm a big fan of the team, right? So I'm always watching. Anytime you guys post, I'm probably one of the first ones to watch and comment. Now, I see how you guys are. Not even when you guys are playing, right? I pay more attention to when you guys are off the field, right? Because I always see you guys when you guys are eating, when you guys are out joking. Just go ahead and talk about the brotherhood of this team, man. Because I can see it from the outside looking in, so I already know you guys got a more in-depth explanation of the brotherhood that you guys got with each other.
Man, like I said, bro, this is a family, bro. It's easy, bro. It's easy to be entered in, bro. Like,
okay,
if you know some people, do you know everybody on the team? Like, everybody on the team is a family, bro. It's like easy to talk to people. It's easy to make friends. Coach Mike gonna let you be yourself. If you just be yourself, if you come to the team, just be yourself. It's different. It's from there, bro.
Okay.
And some of these kids, some of these kids, yo, man, I'm telling you, like even my own nephew, Thomas, a great athlete. He a great athlete. He don't talk, right? And nephew don't talk, right? And the guy's like, yo, coach,
Thomas, man.
Everybody like, yo, coach, your nephew don't speak. We actually have another kid too, who's named Jamir, don't speak, right? And then like just this past trip, I'm like, yo, did y'all have any sugar? Like, what, like, bro, like, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Like hype, and I'm like I'm literally, we in the coach's room. I'm getting knocks on the door. It's game day. Like, yo, y'all good? Like, yo, y'all good? I'm hearing everything in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all of the kids, like, that's why I said some of the kids that don't even talk, like, it's like, you all right? But, it's just them. I feel like these kids are starting to mold each other. And I would feel weird to have all from the same school team, I would definitely have, I like kids from all over. So we got kids from like Rochester Prep, U Prep, Wilson, Arcadia. I have kids from East. I have kids from Aquinas, and the list just goes on. So nobody's from the same place, and they all live different lives. And a lot of them came up together. Some of them didn't, and it's a brotherhood, bro.
No, that's extremely dope, man. Go ahead and speak about that, Quest. Like he said, you got players from all different teams. Because I know once the actual real season starts, you're going to be competing against some of these guys. So just go ahead and talk about how dope that is to have these from other parts of the city before y'all go ahead and start competing against each other.
It's fun, And another thing I want to speak on, the last part about the brotherhood, I feel like that also play a big part with Mike and the coaches, because it's like coming to a team, people used to coaches trying to come on the field, coaches want to be all serious and all of that. But to be able to have a coach who could come to the field, be himself and locked in, it gives a lot of players like, okay, for me, I see the type of coach this is. I don't really got to do all this. All I know is if I get my job done for me, everything's going to be all right. So it's like, players learn to interact with each other more, to build a real bond, because our coach got our back 100%. We know he's standing 10 toes. So it was like seeing that he doing that, it made us want to do it behind him. And in order to do that, we all got to come one as a team for me. So that's
so he wasn't wasn't lying when he said he comes and he beats himself as a coach. But kind of
No,
that's
he
his
dead.
coach.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
Yo, I can't. Let me.
Mike,
I can't, bro. I can't lie. There's no. Listen. There's no lying in it. I did it at the college.
I want. Hey, I just want to hear from. I
Yeah.
want to hear from them. That's it. I just
No,
want to
hey,
hear from them.
but that's why I respect you, bro. That's exactly why I
You
respect you a
already
lot, and that's why
know.
it's a brotherhood here with us too. Because like I
You
did it
know.
at college, nothing but good reports. The college kids are still inboxing me to this day, like, Coach, when you coming back? Like, even at UB, I got a couple coaches like, how you doing? What's up? What's the process? Where you at? You want to come help out? It's like being yourself sometimes take you further than trying to be
Yep.
something that you're not.
So all you gotta do is be yourself, man. Now, fellas, what would you guys say is your primary position, right? Because I know you guys are athletes. You guys can play multiple positions, but what would you guys say is your favorite position to play?
my
Quarterback.
receiver. I love receiver. I study receiver day and night. Like, oh my gosh. Every time I get on YouTube, I'm watching how to get better at receiver because I want to. That's fine.
What you got, Quest?
All right. So for me, it was difficult just playing every position and then the benefits of everything coming with it, the height and all of that. But I would truly say QB.
Okay.
Like I could do everything else, but for something that I say really fit me for real and what I know that is gonna take me probably far as QB. So yeah.
Yeah, and me and you had this conversation every year, man. Like I told you, growing up, when I was in high school, that criteria for quarterback was a little bit different than what it is in 2025, right? We got shorter quarterbacks now. So I told you that you got to just hone in and tune in on your craft, and that height shit can go out the window. If everything else is doing what it's supposed to be doing, that height should go out the window. So that's why I always tell you, don't worry about that small thing to a giant in 2025, right? 15, 10, 12 years ago, that'd be a little different conversation. But as of right now, nah, we ain't gonna let nobody stop you from accomplishing anything you want to accomplish anyway. So let that height shit go out the window, man. All right. Now with those being y'all primary positions, Jay, you just spoke about a little bit how you said you go home and you watch film. Just go ahead and give me and the viewers a little explanation of what you guys are doing outside of football practice, outside of 7-on-7 to get better. Because I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. Once you get to that next level, it's every man for themselves collectively, right? Now, what I mean by that is collectively you're on a team with a whole bunch of people who are in it for themselves, right? Because if you want to go to the next level after that, you got to separate yourself, right? Right now, you guys are already doing what you need to do to separate yourself at a high school level. Once you get to college, it's going to be another level you got to separate yourself. And what I mean by that is work ethic, film study, training in the weight room, being great in the classroom. All these things you have to really be great at to separate yourself from the next man. So go ahead and give us some details of what you guys are doing outside of football practice to prepare y'all for the regular season.
For me, like I gotta feel like right outside my house on hot days. I just go out there and try to get a couple of releases in because I know that's where I could work at my releases and the top of my routes. Like top of my routes could get fixed and my releases. So I work on that and I come home and study that. And also I like to get some plyos in, like because I like to jump. So when I work on my plyos, I was like, okay. So if my plyos also help with speed too and stretching, bro.
Okay.
I stretch too. That's what I do.
Okay. What you got, Quest?
All right. So for me, it's multiple things. And one major thing is something that you told me that I'll never forget is you're not nothing different from any other kid if you just going to school workouts or doing the workouts that you're doing at school. So putting that in my mind, first thing off rip, I got weights and things like that. So it's like working out at home. I mean, that's one major thing. And then like he's saying, stretching and all that, I like to do yoga a lot. For me, just to keep the body healthy, ice baths or whatever. For me, and then I do live close to a field. Getting around the right people who actually want it as much as you, going there putting in work. For me, having a good bond with my QB coach, having him send me the things that he feel like I need to work on, doing it here for me, spacing the room, practicing little footwork or drop decks, and just stuff like that to make me stand out from the crowd. So yeah.
And I honestly, I could say, like, everything, especially what Quez saying, is true. Like, you know, we went to go support our 10 because, you know, we do have 10U, 12U, 15U. You know, we got levels, right? Plenty of levels. I want to say it's probably a little over 85 kids, right? A little over 85 kids, right? And I mean, like, we was in the hotel supporting another team, you know? And I'm like, you know, where Quez at? I go to the hotel gym. He in the hotel gym. I'm like, bro, I need you to help me take care of the little bros real quick. Just help me take care of the little bros. You feel me? Yeah, after this run, I look at the treadmill. He already 35 minutes in. Like, you feel me? So he definitely working, man. Yo, Sess, man, you already know, man. I appreciate you, you know, everybody on the
Yeah,
live
because
as well.
to be great, you have to tune into the small details, right? Not the glamour of the position, the small details, the thing that you think you can do easy. No, it's not about doing them easy. It's about doing them 100% every time, right? The step backs, the getting it out of your routes, right? The knowing the playbook, the knowing the defense. These all the things that if you get to tuning in right now, what you guys are doing, you're going to be ahead of the curve. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's no better feeling than getting to the field knowing that you're prepared better than the opposition, right? Knowing that this man across from you did not put in no work in the summer, right? So he might be good for a quarter, but it's 4 quarters in the game. So you know you got him beat the rest of the game. And that's the feeling you want to have, not just in football, in life, right? In life, you want to be having your legs up on the next on your opponent. So definitely keep doing what you're doing outside of practice because that's just what going to get you where you need to go. Now, what would you guys say is your favorite part about playing 7-on-7, right? Because you guys had the opportunity to go outside of your area, and you guys get to play against kids from Virginia, Ohio, all over, kids that you probably wouldn't be able to play against if you didn't play 7-on-7. So go ahead and speak about the experience of being able to travel and play football against other guys from outside the your city.
All right,
Start with Dre.
Oh, you got it, Dre.
All right. For me, I like the traveling because I don't like the farthest place. Like I only been to Buffalo before and Orlando, but the traveling part for me is like okay, boom, and then also the competition. It's like I never played these guys before. I only played people in Rochester, so I'm not used to that type of competition. I like it because it helps me get better. It helps me develop more.
How about you, Quest?
7-on-7, it's like traveling plays a big part because of the exposure. You know, also getting away. You know, really have to have a bond with guys, new guys, or anything like that because I'm going out of town with them. So I gotta have some type of trust. And then another thing is getting better. I do everything that I like and everything that's about his business, and also want to get better. So, like he said, 7-on-7, there's no line or nothing. Ain't no run, which means I only could do one thing is pass. So now I have to read because they only expect one thing. They're not gonna expect me to run the ball. They only expect me to do one thing is pass. So now I actually have to be on my top notch on all my skills to do what needs to be done.
Okay. Now, give me a few key pointers on how 7-on-7 prepares you guys for 11-on-11 football in the fall.
All right, so for wide receivers, for me, because I can go through the whole progression. For wide receivers, I feel like 7-on-7 helped them with learning the small things, learning the small details. It's not 11-on-11. We're not going in straight to plays. You know, 11-on-11, we have indie periods, but indie periods is not really a teaching period. You know, they expect you to know things. And 7-on-7 ain't 11-on-11. We don't got to go through so much. It's actually a teaching stage, you know, teaching them and working on certain details, certain releases that you would need for me that you could have already 11-on-11. Come 11-on-11 practice, you know, now it's in your bag. Because they don't really teach you certain releases. They don't really do all of that. 7-on-7 do it for me. And yeah, for quarterbacks, it's really reading the defense. That's something that's gonna help you a lot. You know, knowing your key reads or knowing to do in what certain situations, knowing where to put the ball. That's something that I feel like I worked on a lot for me. That's something that I keep working on. Having the drop back and really knowing where to put the ball in certain key details, small holes, and being able just to do you for me. So yeah, learning.
How about you, Dre?
Yo, for me, mine's just like my releases, my routes, and learn when to sit down in the zone so my quarterback can find me open. And also, because it's like 11-11, my quarterback could roll out and I could find a way to get the ball so my quarterback and get open. Like That's a big thing. Try to get open and read the defense and sit in the zone because 7-on-7 is like it's so many zones to be able to sit in if you know the defense.
Okay.
That's why I feel like that's helped me.
Now, who would you guys say was y'all favorite 7-on-7 team that y'all played against? Or not even favorite or most difficult team that y'all played against?
I mean, I feel
everybody
like
was easy. What we doing here? No, they ain't had no count.
Nah, I'm not saying it. It's not that we always have comp. Everybody is comp, but we're also good ourselves.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if we lose, it's because a mistake from us, or it's like we really
you.
beat ourselves. Like
I
if
got
you
you.
come and watch all our games,
I
we
got you.
losing because our mistakes, dropping the ball, missing alignments, stuff like that. It's like we really beat ourselves. Like our last tournament, it was we was in our second game too. We was up, right? Boom, we was up. Instead of batting the ball down, we batted up. He caught it, touchdown. We get the ball. We threw a pick. We beat ourselves. If we'd have batted the ball down, we'd have been up. And if we'd have held the ball, we wouldn't have to held the ball because we'd have been up. I mean, we wouldn't have to. We would have been up. So would have been valid, bro.
Yes, it's not
Stuff like that.
hard competition. Every team's beatable. That's one thing.
Oh,
But we're actually
okay.
losing to teams that we know we could beat. For me, it's just we was making mistakes. So that was messing us up. I don't really trying to see who was the hardest
I
comp.
think I think the biggest like competition that we have is ourselves. Being real about it, just being real about it. Like, sometimes you have to wake up 7 a.m. in the morning to prepare for a 9 o'clock game, right? Sometimes you got to get up 6:30 in the morning because you got to take that 30-40 minute drive to the field, right? Or you got to take that drive to get up to go to the game, right? And you in a car 6 hours, sometimes a bus, depending on whatever situation we in, right? Because I remember one time we had a game at 6:30 in the morning, right? Not this squad that I'm with now, but like 2 years ago. We had a game at 6:30 in the morning. Had to be up by 4:30 to take that hour drive because that was the closest like hotel with gas stations, all that, right? And it's like we beat ourselves sometimes, and I feel like everybody we played so far this year, we 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 start off rocky. I mean, not rocky. We start off high, and then we start, we start getting plain, and then as we go through the progression, we start scoring, or we start getting upfield, and then we stop running full routes, or we stop moving everything. And also coaches, like I'll say that for myself because I like to put stuff on myself if definitely most definitely at the end of the day I always tell my kids, we lost together, including coaches, taking accountability. Maybe I called the wrong play. Maybe I didn't realize, the kid was open every play, or the kid can't really guard, but I chose to do a different play to try this side of the field. So it's like little things like that. But I definitely say we beat ourselves. But I'll definitely say we definitely a force to be reckoned with, and our 15U is definitely a problem as well. Our 15U is definitely a problem as well. And I'll definitely say like we are growing and we're gonna continue to grow because everybody want to see us lose in some way, right? Everybody wants to see us lose some way somehow. And every tournament, every game, every day we get 1% better. The bond keep growing. These kids keep wanting to play, and I just continue to tell my kids we all go through adversity. It's just how you come out of adversity.
Fact.
So, and right now we're preparing for our tournament. We call it the Battle of the Rock, right? CTC we call them our evil twin, right? We call them our evil twin. They host a tournament every year.
Shout out
They host
CTC.
a tournament. They and definitely, and I always give them their props. Shout them out. They got a bunch of good kids over there. It's like two kids over there that I've also coached before. Yeah, definitely, they host a tournament every year. Usually in May. This year it's May 3rd through the 4th. So if you want to come check the Reapers out, or any kid that I have on my team, May 3rd through the 4th in Rochester. I believe it might be at Monroe High School. But if not, you know, you can always check our page. We'll update it. And pretty much, yeah, we'll be playing in Rochester in May. So, you know, come support.
I'm definitely gonna be tapped into that game. I'm gonna be in Mexico at that time, but I'm definitely gonna be in Mexico, chill, lay it out, watching that game. Now, fellas, with football being such a violent sport, man, what's your inspiration to playing? Like, who do you guys play for? Because this is not an average sport, right? This is a life-changing sport when it comes to injuries and it comes to dealing with the physicality of playing football. It's a gladiator sport. So what inspires you guys to even want to get into that, sign up for that?
All right, so for me, it's like seeing what football could do for me. Like he said, it's not guaranteed, but I'm willing to take that chance because, hey, the life that is given people, it's a way out. You know, it's a way out. So for my family and all, and then it's like with you made things a little harder. You made a little more pressure on me. Big thing when you made your retirement, right? So
yo, he talked about that too. He talked about that. We was on our way to Baltimore. Sorry to stop you. But we was on our way to Baltimore, brother. And I'll tell you, he was in that passenger seat. And I said, "You good?" You know, and he was just like, "Man, just like my brother retiring, man, that hurt, man. That hurt." And I was like, "Hey, it's your time to step up and fill them shoes and honestly grow out of them shoes. You got to grow out of them shoes. You can't be the same as your brother. You got to be better than your brother."
Facts,
You know, so yeah, but that I'll tell you that hit little bro. That hit little bro hard, man.
He
so,
told me.
Like when you retired and all that, it's like at the moment, it's me. I always was playing things like I'm the ticket out, but you still there, like you still a champ.
Right.
But right now, when you did that, it's like so far I'm what's left. Man.
Yeah.
Now I don't got a choice. Now in my mindset, this gotta work. So yeah.
I appreciate, man. That's love, man. And you going to do it though. That's the thing. You going to do it, man. Definitely gonna be better than me. All you gotta do is continue to put the work in, man. You on your way. You definitely on your way, man. And I'm definitely very much proud of you, man. And I definitely love you, man, for sure. What you got, Dre?
For me, this is like basically the same thing. I'm our last ticket out. I'm like one of the biggest, I'm like one of the biggest and taller than my family. My family is kind of like a short family, but I'm like, I got the great size and the great athleticism. But also, I'm a grown man, and I like the physical contact of the sport. Even though it's violent, I like that because it's like, what's football without? What's life without football, man?
No, for real.
What's life without football, man? That's what it is for me.
Okay. Now, with you guys growing up in a different era, man, you guys grew up in the social media era, right? Which can be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. What steps are you guys taking to make sure that you keep your social media clean? Because I want to let you guys know right now, there's a such thing called a digital footprint. You guys know what that means?
Y'all should.
A digital footprint. Once you
tell y'all that all the
upload
time.
something to the internet, it's there. There's no such thing as I deleted it. No, it's there, right? And you don't want things to come back and haunt you and bite you in the rear years later, right? Tweets that you said or videos that you did or fights or anything negative, right? So go ahead and talk about how y'all trying to make sure that y'all keep y'all social media clean and make sure that y'all not just using it for the wrong reasons.
All right, so not too long ago, I actually wanted to delete all social media, right? But with social media being such a big thing now, social media could bring you exposure. So what I try to do now is just post a lot of my sports, you know, post mainly sports and follow the people who doing the same thing. Always try to find people who on the same type of time that I'm on, same mindset or anything like that. So that's why I decided to use social media for sports.
Yep. How about you, Jay?
Yeah, same for me. Like I barely post. Like I don't like doing all that posting.
Okay.
It's like it's really no point. If I'm posting, it's about something important. But also, I stay on Twitter, so like I'm always texting coaches, sending coaches my film, all that. Like I could show you receipts or messages of me sending whole bunch of coaches, D3, D2, JUCO, D1, all that. All the coaches. That's how I got all my offers. Just sending coaches my film. I stay off of that social media stuff.
Nice. And that's the thing. Like I said, it's also a great platform. It's just about how you use it. Quez, you gave a great example. Just cleanse it out. There's such thing as cleanse. Once you start putting in certain searches, and it's called an algorithm, right? Now you're gonna start seeing them things multiple times, right? Especially for me, I get a lot of my workouts from social media. So every time I go to my For You page, it's nothing but workouts, right? Because that's how I got it designed. That's how my phone is programmed now. That I only want. I'd say probably like 5 years ago, I deleted a whole bunch of people and just added random football players from all over the world, right? Because I wanted to see people doing the same thing I was doing to make sure that when I open my phone, I'm always inspired. I don't want to ever get on my phone and get away from the goal, right? You want to use everything as the goal, no matter where you at, school, at home. The goal is the goal, no matter what you're doing. So you always want to make sure you have that and be surrounded by that. With that being said, now you guys are two young gentlemen, doing your thing, and I'm pretty sure the ladies see that. So let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, you guys are in high school. What are you guys doing to make sure you stay focused on the prize, man? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. I know it might seem like you heard this 100 times, but females will be the biggest distraction you ever meet in your whole entire life. Okay, say it again. Females will be the biggest distraction you ever meet in your whole entire life. Now, I'm not saying that you won't find a nice young lady out there who can help you get where you got to go, but you have to be up here to determine if she is or not, right? So, what steps are you guys taking to make sure that you stay focused, man, and understand that you got a bigger prize at the end, and you don't want nobody distracting you from that?
Well, for me, I'm gonna start it off. Yeah. I'm a little bit older than Quez. For me, I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend's in college. She's more mature, so it's like she actually like helped me. She like it was a point of time where I wanted to quit this, but I was like, but my girlfriend, she was like, "Are you gonna go to practice? When you gonna go to practice?" I'm like,
shout out to her, man. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah,
Shout out to
I
her,
don't really
man.
feel like it. I was like, I don't really feel like it going to practice. I don't want to go to practice. She's like, you gotta go for practice. You gotta stay focused. You did this just so you could get somewhere in college. So I'm like, all right, bet. But my girlfriend helped me stay focused.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you one thing like this, bro. You got you one, keep you one, right? Because like I said, they can be a addition too. They can help you get to where you gotta go. It can be rare at times finding those ones when you're young and you're immature, you're not making the right decisions. But you guys have your head on your shoulders, so that's why I'm asking y'all. And your answer is gonna be a lot of different from OYN. You hear what I'm saying? That was a very mature and a great answer. So proud of you, man, and make sure you do what you gotta do. Take care of that young lady, man, because she pushing you, and it's always good to have something like that in your corner. How about you, Quest?
All right, so with females, the whole distraction thing, being able to put my things first is one thing that I come apart, and then it's like with me, even for me to actually want to communicate with a female, the female have to match me, and when it comes down to match me, it's really it's three things to it: the mindset, the mindset have to match. We have to want the same mindset as in school. For me, school has to really get done. Things have to get done, and understanding life. People don't understand life, and I be needing people to understand life. And it's not even knowing how life going to work. It's just knowing that things going to come in life. For me, and the supportive stuff. So it's like with females, it's really a blockage because there's no point in me even taking time and wanting to get to know you or anything like that because I know we don't have the same mind space. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't really communicate with a lot of females or anything just because it'd be a waste of time. You gotta want the grind just as I want the grind. And it's not one of my grind, it's one of your grind the same well for me. So just be hungry for what you're going to get. Starve for what you're trying to eat, So it'd be the whole mindset.
And I tell them, all the time, y'all gonna meet plenty. I tell them all the time, y'all gonna meet plenty as y'all get older. And y'all all make decisions. Y'all all got to make decisions on your own. All I could do is tell you and guide you. But at that point, y'all got wings. Everybody got wings. And I try to tell them all the time, y'all, if you locked in, when it's time to lock in, you gotta leave them alone. Gotta be, keep it going, keep pushing. And like Dre, I could definitely piggyback off Dre. Like, I remember when Dre was, not to tell his business, he was going through a lot, and I kept telling him, bro, that O coming. That O is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come, the next one gonna come right with it. And excuse my
Well, that
language,
leads,
I'll be damned.
that leads me right into my next question. Now, Dre, I know you got a few offers already, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Quez, yours are on the way. Trust me, they loading. Now, if I'm a college recruiter, right, for whichever school that you guys really, really want to go to, right, and I'm recruiting both of you guys, why should I offer you guys a scholarship? Explain to me why you guys will be deserving of a scholarship. Start with you, Quest.
Work ethic. That's one thing you're going to see with me. You're going to see how I carry myself. As a young man, with it being YNs in the world, like you're saying, the way I stand out when it comes to everything. Give everything 100%, and just stuff like that. Just being able to work at 100%, being able to have the grades, being able to have the whole package. Face the adversity, face all the adversity that comes towards me. Just being able to get through difficult times. Feel me? So yeah, being able to be focused. Locked in, staying focused.
Okay. Now, Dre, like I said, you got a few already. What would you say to the coach that the school that you really want to go to? Why should they recruit you?
Um, just because my work, like Clay said, work ethic is everything, and also being good in class, like having good grades, that will get you far, bro. Just
Yes.
because it's like if you have good grades, nothing can beat that. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You you can teach anybody anything. Like you see, I just started in 10th grade and I already have two. It's like I feel like most of those is from my grades and also me trying to be the athlete I am. Like
Mm-hmm.
work ethic is everything for me.
One more thing,
And
though.
also,
You gotta
Go ahead.
be coachable. You gotta
Okay.
be coachable.
yeah,
There you
I was
go.
just about to
And we
say that.
we we just had this
I
conversation
was
last
just
practice.
about to
We
say that.
just had this
Yeah,
conversation last
that's
practice.
that's 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 very important, especially with guys your age, right? Especially in this generation, a lot of these guys think they know it all, and it could be difficult talking to them. Not even coaching them, it could be difficult talking to them about life, let alone telling them the X and the O. So, definitely got to be coachable, man. Definitely got. I can tell by this interview that both of you guys are extremely coachable. You guys listen.
Yeah.
You guys pay
Hey, what's
attention.
my
So,
what's my favorite saying, Dre? What's my favorite saying? When you get to talking and I say something, what's my favorite saying?
What's your favorite team?
Yes, coach. Yes, coach. Shut up. Just shut up.
is that
Be
Yes,
quiet. Yes,
sir.
coach.
is that
It's that simple. You know.
Now there's so much going on right now, right? Because like I said, you guys are in a different era, especially when it comes to college football. You guys have the opportunity to change your family life before you even make it to the NFL,
Yo,
right? When we talking about
shout out
NIL,
Coach Ream, man. Shout out Coach Ream. Ream entered the
Yeah,
chat,
not
man.
Coach
yeah,
Ring.
yeah. What's up,
Like I
man?
said, you guys have opportunity to go ahead and change your family life before you even enter a national league. So if you guys were to get the scholarship, right, and now you get the NIL deal, what would you do with that money, right? Because there's no more such thing as, oh, he's not getting money until he's older. No, these kids are getting money at 18, 19 years old, millions of dollars, right? And some know what to do with it, some don't know what to do with it. Both of you guys are talking about changing your family lives forever. So just go ahead and give me a few things what you guys would do with the money.
For me, my thing is investing. Because once you
Okay.
invest, you can just build and build and build, and if money just keep flowing in. That's my big thing. You gotta invest in something that you know you're gonna get money back from.
Okay.
You don't just put money into something. I want to put money into something. No, I'm getting something back, so I can give more out. Feel me? That's
Great
it.
answer.
Been
That's a great
around.
answer.
You've been around me too much. Don't
That's a
stop
great
reading my
answer,
book.
man. Who are
Stop
who
reading
are
my
these young
book.
men?
Stop reading
What you
my
got?
book.
What you got, Quest?
Stop reading
That's a
my
great
book.
answer, man. Such a mature answer, man.
Stop reading my
Mainly for me,
book.
probably is family.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure family straight. Whatever money that you're throwing my way, family and taking care of the things that matter the most. Feel me? Not the things we want, but the things that we need. So it's just taking care of the things that really need to get done, and yeah, then whatever left over, just do do the right thing with the money. Save some money if we have to, or put us in a place where we know, hey, we don't get another check, but this right here, we could we could sit on this. We'll be set on this for a minute. So just yeah.
Listen, man, those are two very mature answers, right? Like a lot of guys your age probably would have said a chain, a Lamborghini, right? And that's why I'm glad I got this platform to even prep you guys for questions like that, right? Because that's once you get to the next level and the next level and the next level, these guys are going to be asking you these questions because they don't want to just give you this money, right? So they want to figure out what you're going to do with this money if I do give it to you. They want to give the wrong answer so they can have a reason not to give it to you, right? We see what's going on with Shador Sanders right now, right? They want to have a reason not to give you anything, right? So sometimes you got to just make sure you know the right answer before you even get asked a question. So two very mature answers, man. I'm definitely proud of you guys, man. You guys are definitely on your way. Definitely two stand-up gentlemen, like I said, man. Now, with you guys being like that, go ahead and talk to the people about how it is to navigate the city of Rochester, where there are so many YNs, right? There are so many guys your age doing the wrong thing, almost more than not, right? You probably have more guys doing the wrong thing than the right thing. So just go ahead and talk about how do you navigate through that? How do you say, you know what? I don't want to go over there to this party. This is probably going to get some shot up. I don't want to go hang with them. I don't want to hang with this girl. She probably up to no good. She's probably going to get me into something. How do you guys navigate through this with this being your age group, right? Because it's different for guys like me who's older. I can just stay away from that. But you guys have to go to school. You have to be at certain areas. But how do you navigate being around the wrong and the right people?
I feel like the best way to do it is who you hold yourself around. Your friends. Like if you just hold yourself around all the people that want the same thing as you, if you hold yourself around, you won't have to worry about none of that YN stuff because y'all all want the same thing and the same goal, and that's to make it out of Rochester and into some sports. It don't have to be just football. That's for me. It's my friends. Like I probably have like no friends that be dealing with none of that stuff. Like
okay. How about you, Quest?
For me, it's how I carry myself wherever I'm at. Like you said, it's being a lot of YNs. Being able to carry myself the way I do, going out in public, I always want to help people. So people even seeing me, little kids seeing me, like the type of person that I am. Oh, hey, I want to be like him. Or at school, being around the right crowd and bringing people towards us who wanted to do something different. Now they actually want to do things good in life. It's just carrying yourself right, going places knowing that you're not a follower, but it's okay for you to lead instead of follow. People don't have to follow you, but you're just leading them in the right direction. So just carrying myself in the proper way, wanting to stand out from others.
Definitely, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, right? It only takes one. It only takes one bad apple to ruin it for everybody. It only takes one. So therefore, you got to be very conscious of who you say, you know what? We can't allow him in our circle, right? Because I know when a lot of people are doing the wrong thing, they will make doing the right thing seem like it's lame or corny and say, oh, he going to the gym, they working out. So what? Continue to stay on the right path because at the end, you're going to be looking back and they're going to be looking forward. And it's two different lanes, right? So stay in the lane that y'all are. Don't ever let nobody try to make it seem as if y'all doing the wrong thing by doing the right thing because there's not a lot of people doing the right thing. Continue in you guys' path and make sure you be conscious of who you let in your circle. Because like I said, it only takes one bad apple to ruin it for everybody. And you guys have too much of a bright future to allow that to happen. Now my final question is going to be for everybody. Everybody can answer it at once. What is your favorite part about being a part of the Roc City Grim Reapers? Let's start with Coach Mike.
I'm gonna let y'all go. You gotta start with me, bro. I wanted the banger, man.
Okay. No, you know, go. We'll start with Quest. Go ahead, Quest.
It's real, bro. The real program, like seeing all these other programs, they doing this and that, you doing this and that, and I thank Mike for this a lot. I always tell him that, always in his love for me, but things Mike say, things that people say in this program is true, bro. It's a real program. It's not just one focus. It's not just you going out of town with football. No, going on trips. Anything with Mike, it's a lesson for me. Everything that we go somewhere, he got little things he could show to teach us. For me, this right here, for me, just teaching us about life and it's a great way for me for people who don't even have fathers. great fatherhood, and it's just a great way to go through life. Great way to learn stuff in life for me with Mike. So yeah.
That's love, man. That's love. How about you, Dre?
For me, it's like the family, man. I don't know. I'm a family guy, so I feel like with this, with the Reapers, this is all love. It's like I say, man. Like I've been saying, it's easy to talk to these boys. It's easy to be myself. So I feel like if I could be myself anywhere, then I'm comfortable being there. And also the trips, like Quest saying, it was the trips. Mike will gonna teach you about anything. He has, if you ask him about it, Mike could probably tell you what to do and what not to do, and he gonna give you the right directions. And all you gotta do is listen. If you don't listen, then it's really no point of you wanting to. You gotta be mature and just listen.
Got it.
That's
And
love,
then
man.
Coach Mike.
That's love, man. That's love for real. And the reason why, you know, it's the biggest thing, like I always told you, bro. One thing you asked me is to make sure I take your brother and put him
Yep.
under my wing, you know.
Yep.
And that's a conversation we had without him even knowing, you
Yep.
know. And you know, a bunch of guys who got little brothers that I look after, you know, or look out for. I think the biggest thing and the best thing that I can say, even being in my own shoes, is just being able to see these kids' faces when they see different buildings. You know, some of these kids have never seen a skyscraper.
Mm.
You know, that go back to what I said at the beginning. You know, just the fact that being able to do it, you know, being able to go places and you know, I also got to shout my brother Keith out. You know,
Shout out.
KX3 Media. You know, he he also helped capture these moments. You know, he helped capture these moments. He helped build the YouTube for us, you know, a platform to also help us get out there. You know what I'm saying? And I could definitely say, you know, thank you to my little brother as well, you know, because that mean a lot. And it's the kids, man. It's the kids, man. It's the little brothers, you know, the little brothers, the nephews, the little cousins, you know, the people that it may not be your blood, but they become your blood, you know. And at the end of the day, still to this day, I don't care how old I am, right? These kids need big brothers. These kids need uncles. These kids
Role
need
models.
people that's male figures, role models. You know, I seen you made a post about that the other day, and
Yep.
that stuck with me because of the fact that, you know, you can hear it in these kids' voice. You know, you can hear their testimony. You know, and they're saying things that, like I said, it's not rehearsed.
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. You
Yep.
know, and I walk away every day, and I come home, you know, and at the end of practice, you know, I always say to myself, you know, thank you, Jesus,
Yeah.
that these kids they're learning, they're growing. And like I said, I got kids in trade school right now on the way to make 100K a year and more. And just the fact that, you know, I go home and I'm able to say I did it, you know, and see these guys years from now, months from now. Hey, coach, look, yo, I'm a technician. Look, coach, you know, I'm a lawyer. And it's like, dang, I'm getting older. They getting older. They're learning. They're experiencing. And then to also be reminded, like, I appreciate you for what you told me. And I appreciate you for what you've done for me. And I always tell my kids, you don't owe me nothing. Only thing you do owe me is make sure you do the right thing in life and be a good neighbor. And what that means, you know, to the people that don't know it, is help the next person.
Yep.
Same way you got help, same way you got taught, same way you got told things that helped you become who you are, you know. And I will never sit here and say it's all me, right?
Mm.
Because it's a community thing. It's a
Yep.
community thing.
Takes a
My
village.
brother, my sister, and it takes a village, absolutely. So, like I said, the coaching staff that I have, the people outside of the coaching staff, the family that shows up, you know, my family, my brothers,
Yep.
you, guys like you who, you know, who help put in the work. Eddie Jackson, you know, stop in and he help coach whenever he can. You know, uh, we got all sorts of guys. You know, we got guys like on-site Tom Tom. You
Yep.
know,
Shout out.
he helps out. You know, he helps out when he can. You know, and then we also just, you know, it's just the most important things that just like matter. The knowledge, you know, years of experience, you know, and the list could go on, man.
Man, you
So
he, You definitely much appreciated, man. I just want to let you know that again. I'm gonna continue giving you your flowers, man. Especially with
I
me knowing
appreciate
that
that.
you are taking my little brother with you outside the city and traveling. I have no worries. I know he's straight, you know what I'm saying, because he with you. And I know you got a very mature head on your shoulders. So I
Absolutely.
never, we know he good when he with you. Let me just say that for sure, man. Because a lot of people don't be doing what they need to do when they take kids outside of their family vicinity.
Absolutely.
So definitely let you know that you doing the right thing, man.
Thank
Now, fellas, we got Quez Youth playing that East in the fall,
Yeah.
and you playing where in the fall, Dre?
you.
Nah,
Going
this
to
is my last
college.
year. This is my last. I'm going to college after this.
Out of there. See, that's what I like to hear. All right, all right. So I just want one goal for you guys for your up and coming seasons.
Hey, that's a parent right there. Thank you, Christina. We appreciate you. You know it's all love.
Yeah,
That's one of our
show love
parents
to
right there.
parents, man. Shout out Christina. Yeah,
Hey,
give me one goal for the season, upcoming season.
For
You
me,
go crazy. You
for a
in
lot
high
of my
school.
people, let's get the job done. That's one thing that I've been trying to do for a minute, and yeah, that's all I just want to do is
Get
get the
the
job done.
job done. We talking championship?
Championship. No, but we passed
Okay.
that. We want to get a ring. We're going for
Are
a
we talking
ring.
state championship?
We
Okay.
already
Okay.
got a break.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Dre?
I told you about
What's
that.
your
I'm a
goal?
wildcat. Don't violate me. That's violation. I'm a wildcat. It will always
Shout
be
out
a
to the
wildcat.
Wildcats, man.
I bleed red no matter what. Don't play.
What's, what's, what's your goal entering in college, Dre?
um, just getting hired in the depth chart. Cause I know it's a lot of guys up there that's willing to compete, willing to
Mm-hmm.
do all this, do the work and put in all that. My goal is just to get hired in the depth chart. Even if I'm third string, I just want to get higher and to getting close to getting playtime.
Okay.
That's going.
Hey, man. But look, man, I definitely want to thank y'all for joining the pod, man, and
We
good
want to
luck
thank
to
you,
everything
man.
that you guys got going forward. I'm definitely a fan, and I'm definitely gonna be super, super tuned in to the rest of your careers, especially little bro. But Dre, I'm definitely gonna be super tapped into what you got going on now too. And Mike, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. You are a pillar of the community. You are very much needed. Your service is not going unnoticed. And trust me, people like me appreciate you, man, because it takes somebody who really care to give back, man. That's not something you just do when you just wake up and do, right? Like you got it in your heart to do it, but it still takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Money, effort, time. So you definitely very much appreciate it, man, especially coming in from the fourth quarter podcast, man. Dre,
Thank you.
Quez, keep your head straight, man. There's gonna be a lot of distractions coming your way for the rest of y'all lives, right? Keep your head straight and keep the main thing the main thing. I'm very proud of y'all, man, because like I said, we're gonna change that narrative right here in this podcast about YNs. We don't deal with those, man. We deal with young men, we deal with young gentlemen. Um, and that's gonna be the narrative that we keep on this show, man. So definitely keep leading the way, keep being an example for guys your age and guys younger than you, and even guys older than you, like myself, man. You guys inspire me. Any last words? Anything y'all want to say to your fans, your family, your teammates, man? Any last words?
Love y'all, man. Thank you, Coach.
Sean Close Williams, class 2027. Tune in.
Hey, man. Thank you,
Tuesday,
man.
you're
Thank you. I just want to say thank you again, man. And I appreciate the effort and the support.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you've been supporting since the start.
Yes, sir.
And I know we're supposed to, shoot before this, and
Oh, good.
but
Hey, we
hey,
made
we
it
got it
happen.
done, man. Hey, we
It
made it
was
happen.
great. It was
And
great.
for
Hey, so
everybody out there, like I tell y'all, if you ain't with the Reapers, that's all right. That's okay. But we got a bunch of graves that we dig. So
yes,
come on,
sir.
man. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Got a
Hey,
bunch of
so we
graves
got we
that
got
we
May
dig.
3rd, first Battle of the Rock.
May 3rd, Battle of the Rock. It's gonna be a bunch of teams there. Look forward to my 10U, my 12U. And actually my 10U, they getting that work in with the 12s. They want all
Oh,
smoke. So
okay.
yeah, my 10U. Hey, and I will say this before we go. My 10U,
Yep.
and y'all better watch out, man. Y'all better watch out. Them boys,
Yeah, I
hey,
heard it
them
first,
boys
man.
finished. Hey, them boys finished number 3 out of 18 teams. Number 3.
Okay.
Hey, listen, man, we appreciate you, man. I know I appreciate you. And thank you, brother.
Always, always. Hey, man, listen here, man. Thank again to everybody who tuned in to the fourth quarter podcast, man. Thank to the Roc City Grim Reapers for joining the show, man. Much love to y'all and everything that you got going forward. Good luck to you, Dre. Good luck to you, Quez, man. Love all y'all boys, man. And until next time, we out, fellas.
All right, Brody. Love, boy.